Today, so many countries hide their dark secrets under a big economic umbrella. We live in a world that looks incredibly progressed on the surface. The high rise buildings, classy entertainment, technology that connects us instantly. But under that umbrella, people are suffering. And the system is protecting the powerful while treating other people like play dolls. The system we live under were really built to teach us empathy. They are built to make us productive, and we are taught from our childhood to outrank the person sitting next to us, to treat our friends, our peers as competitors, to view safety as a luxury, as a private luxury. We see the news, we watch the videos of injustice, and we all know exactly what is right and wrong. But most of us look away. Our freedom was built on the blood and sacrifice of so many people over the course of more than hundreds of years. You cannot even count them. If you started to count every single person who sacrificed their life for our independence, that might even be bigger than the entire current population of our country. It's about basic rights that people have sacrificed their lives for. And to treat those rights as leverage to inflict pain upon others, to be silent watcher. No, this is not right. We have forgotten what those sacrifice was actually for. We live in a democracy where we have the power to choose our leaders. But we have fallen into such a dangerous trap. We idolize them. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar explicitly warned us that a country where the culture is to idolize politicians and treat them like gods, a democratic government cannot survive there. Democracy won't survive where the pillar of democracy, its own citizens, just idolize politicians instead of looking at what works they are doing, what are their policies. No political party or leader should ever be idolized. They are not gods. God is spiritual. A politician is a human being whom you can see. They are simply there to do the work that the democracy intended them to do. And that is for the betterment of the country. When you start to idolize them, you become blind. You look past their bad decisions and you look past the suffering of the victims. And this is the same mentality that the Britishers colonized our country with, or the historical implementation of the caste system. The British were very small in number, but they idolized themselves to be seen as one who cannot be questioned, like someone who is supreme. But they weren't. The groups at the very top of the so called social pyramid have always been numerically small, yet they preserve power by convincing the vast majority, also the so called upper caste, they have convinced the vast majority that they have been specially chosen by God. Do you think that if God were to actually differentiate between you and them, they would have made you the same? But biologically, we are the same species. There's the same flesh, the same bones, the same blood. I mean, if God were to actually differentiate between you, you wouldn't be the same species. But it's not like one person is an elephant and the other is a cockroach, one is a snake or the other is a frog. No, you are all humans of the same species. You all look alike, you all are made of the same things, yet handful of the people sitting in the power make it seem like they are absolute and just untouchable to anything, and the majority just accepts it. Why? People love to say what is good, what is bad, it's complicated. No, it isn't. There is a very clear, distinct line between good and bad, and it is so big that it can be visually seen from miles away. It can be seen from anywhere. Everybody knows exactly what is wrong and exactly what is right. But more than half of the people in the country just stay silent, having a 9 to 5 life, going to work, coming back home, checking your money deposited in the bank, and to live a life where we don't have to worry about anything until we die, and to secure a better, safe future for our coming generations. This is what people want, yeah. It is not something like you have to abandon, no. But staying silent and thinking someone else will raise their voice, why should I take the risk? Why? You might think that someone else will do it, but more than half of the country thinks this exact same thing. People who do stand in the front line get targeted immediately by the people in power. The risk of standing on the front line is too high, and especially when the leader stands up and succeeds, the crowd rushes forward to see, we were standing with you all along. But if that leader fails or gets targeted by the machinery of power, the crowd just evaporates and hides. And we retreat back into our comfortable routines and whispers. They shouldn't have been so radical. Why would someone become a Bhagat Singh for you? Why would someone sacrifice their life for you? When you refuse to raise your voice to support the people who are suffering in the country. Nobody is born in this world to be a sacrifice for your happiness or my happiness. We shouldn't expect someone to sacrifice their life for us. We need to be there supporting them so they don't have to sacrifice their life. So they get to live their lives just as you do. Everybody has the right to live, and everybody has the right to be treated as a human. How can you dream of a safe future when the present around you is degrading? You cannot think you will remain untouched when the floor beneath you is just rotting. You cannot just dream of a better future. We have to build a better present right now so that the future can actually exist. A quiet life is a beautiful thing. But if our comfort is built entirely on our silence, then it isn't really safety at all. It's just temporary hiding place. We love to honor the ghosts of our history. We build the monuments to the freedom fighters who gave up everything so we could breathe, so we could exist. But we expect their courage to exist only in history books or in the house of our neighbor, never in our own mirror. The truth is uncomfortable, but you cannot dream of an untouched future when the floor beneath your feet is slowly rotting. And history has a very quiet, painful way of repeating itself. When you look closely at all the places that have suffered to deep historical trauma, whether it's the stories of the past or the systematic failure of the present, you always notice a pattern.